Okay, so what do you think, Renee, after finishing that?
Well, you know, that was just reviewing the work that we did on the 13th and realizing the impacts of it on myself, on my person as an artist, and looking at how deep that piece was, how there's so many layers to it. And it was a collaboration effort with the Gong Temple. It was something that, you know, we all went in not knowing what was going to emerge that night.
That's what's so amazing.
Seeing that, seeing what...
That blows me away, just that whole thing.
Absolutely.
What actually came out. So, for me personally, to perform this piece, it was a lot because it has a lot of backstory in relation to my own personal archetype, you know, and who I am in this form. You know, I'm a black woman, and that was really removing a lot of layers of hell, getting out of the layers of hell, and looking at my demon and facing my demon and wanting to give my demon love and wanting to transform, and that challenge, the friction, because that's what Michelle and Ron were looking at, is exploring friction. And what that meant for me was so much going into the sound, and as a vessel that night, it was phenomenal to perform, and it was hard to watch, you know. So that was kind of my own personal take on the whole night. And it was hard to perform. It was even harder to watch. But while performing it, it was like it's what needed to come out. It felt like this is the story of what we discussed earlier, the story of Earth. You know, this is what's happening, and it's relentless, 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 relentless. It hasn't ended yet, so we can't sugarcoat it or put on a happy face. But to me, it was very powerful laughing at the end, though, because it said a lot about just everything, laughing and crying, how they're one, you know, one emotion, but just felt through different frequencies. And laughing at the end was very powerful for me, and hard to watch.
Well, for me, it was hard. It was hard to be such a character of unconscious rank, of expressing the domination and control that's hurting our planet so intensely right now. And I'm just so grateful, Renee, that you were a part of it. The woman that was going to do the performance piece with me, who I danced with the week before, who happened to be sick. And so Renee and I just happened to like...
Yeah.
So it was like... I have danced to these frequencies before, so I know that the level and the depths that it can go to. Bringing Renee in as a beautiful being to share this with brought us to much deeper levels than we would have gone without the combination of our spirits and our life walk in our cultures and our diversity. I want to honor Renee in doing this piece. She was incredibly brave to walk into those dimensions that came through this piece. We weren't performing it, it was performing us. And she held a very sacred role. So that's why we're holding this as
extremely sacred.
Extremely sacred, and it's raw. It's the refinement really is coming afterwards, and we would like to invite dialogue, conversations,
Conscious dialogue.
conscious dialogue, the audience afterwards, which was also, I feel, really important, that it was an all-white audience of conscious people. But we forget how unconscious rank seeps in there. And we forget that the suffering of others doesn't end when we can just turn off the television when we're done. So the fact that this was a long, drawn-out horror movie, we wanted to create a Valentine's thing.
Yeah, everybody was there to see a Valentine's Day show. here we come out. We're just like, was it Thursday the 13th? That was the perfect title. It was hard to just sit and rewatch, let alone being in the audience in that moment. I do take my hat out for people being able to witness that. It's a lot to.
Okay, Mom, I'm here.
I think she left. Oh.
Yeah, so we're just honored to share this, and we're going to be developing it into a conscious dialogue. So thank you.
That's okay.
Make sure that if you watch this movie, it's not loud and obnoxious.
Very grateful. Super grateful to the universe and super grateful to the people this film will help and the lives that it will change. And I'm glad to be a vessel for that. So. Woo! Yeah, Rob needs also. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Hey, Kim. So.